Delighted that I get to introduce Heather Campbell, who's the head of technology for Microsoft Business Applications at Kainos, who's going to show us some of the Power Automate platform, some of the Power Apps, and some Copilot Studio. And these are the types of tools and technologies that you very much must bring into your working environment to deliver to the business the things they want at the pace they want it. Please put your hands together and welcome to the AI Impact on Engineering track for Heather. Thank you.
Hi there, everybody. It's great to be here. We've had the AWS point of view, and I'm here, I guess, to give the Microsoft point of view and talk about something that's really close to my heart around how we're accelerating innovation within Kainos using AI in Power Platform and helping to create intelligent solutions. So a bit about me, another oldie here. I've been in the tech industry for the past 20 years and primarily focused on delivering sort of large-scale external solutions in the public sector and in healthcare. And then in the last year, I took the step to move into working in the Microsoft Business Applications space, so helping organizations to deliver solutions using Power Platform and Dynamics. So I'm quite an experienced architect, but enjoying that kind of newbie vibe that comes from picking up a new technology. So what I want to talk about today is around how AI is having an impact on software as a service, and in particular around Power Platform. So I'm not going to assume that everybody here knows what Power Platform is, but it's basically a set of technologies from Microsoft that helps businesses to accelerate creating solutions that are scalable and powerful. And so whether you need to create an application or you want to go and automate a process, get some sort of analyze your data, or go and create an agent, Power Platform is there for you. So you've got Power Apps there that help you to create internal business applications. You've got Power Automate there for being able to automate processes and connect your solutions together. You've got Copilot, which is obviously the flavor of the month with being able to create your agents. Power Pages for your external portals, and then you have got Power BI then for your data. And all of this is built upon a whole set of connectors, which allow it to be able to really easily integrate with the other systems within Microsoft and also externally, so with things like Workday and with Salesforce. And it's all built on a really good data platform and good security. But the thing that I want to talk about today is around the AI element. And that's in two forms, in Copilot and how it's helping us to build the solutions quicker, and an AI Builder and how it's actually allowing us to be able to embed that intelligent AI into the solutions that we create. So whenever I've been working on, I've worked, like I say, on lots of large, like external-facing systems. It's really interesting whenever you get into organizations and you realize that behind the scenes, what's got left behind and neglected quite often is how staff themselves are working. So you might have this really fancy outward vision, but internally, there's lots of things where people are working really manually, where things are Excel-based, where you've got lots of line of business systems that are really disjointed. And this is where like Power Platform really excels at bringing it all together. And one of the things I really, really like about Power Platform, because it is, it's got the combination of being able to sort of drag and drop and rapidly build a solution, but also to be able to flip out into that pro code world whenever you need to actually build something that's not out of the box. So if I'm in a workshop with a customer, I'm able to have that conversation with them and start building out the solution really, really quickly using these components and bringing it to life and actually connecting it to real data sources. So rather than being something that's just a facade, you've got something that's actually doing something that's actually connecting with real data. And one of the elements, like I say, that's really helping me around doing that is Copilot. Then on top of that, it's got the ability to be able, again, through drag and drop and through configuration, to be able to go and build your AI into the solution. So you can quickly start to show things like sentiment analysis or being able to extract particular keywords and things. So when it comes to Copilot, it's the same idea as GitHub Copilot. Every single part of Power Platform has a Copilot built into it. So if we take, for example, a lot of the applications that we create are, data-driven. So we have this concept of model-driven apps. And again, I can go into the console there and go and describe what I want to achieve to the Copilot, and then it will start building me out what the data model looks like. And it's the same as you would do with GitHub Copilot. You can have that conversation back and forth and be iterating on it until you get it to a point where you want it to be. And then you can turn that straight into a solution, and suddenly you've got something with a proper database in behind the scenes with the ability to be able to go and interact with records and bringing that to life and being able to properly have a conversation with the customer and being able to start to iterate over that. And that can be done again in a matter of minutes. So as I say, each part of Power Platform has its own Copilot. Even Copilot Studio that's used to create Copilots has a Copilot. But Microsoft has gone one stage further. So what I was talking about there is very much, component-based. It's focusing on one part of the solution. But Microsoft has come up with Plan Designer, and Plan Designer is actually around creating the whole solution. So I'll go in again with a scenario, talk about what I want to achieve, maybe give it some idea of the different users of the system, what's the functionality that they need, and it will come back to me with some personas, and considering about what's their different access needs in terms of data and things, what's functionality do they need to have, and again I'll be able to iterate and go back and forth with that. And once I have got my personas down and what I want to actually them to be able to do, then I can then move again into that sort of data side, have that conversation again around data. And what it then finally comes back with is, rather than being a single part, rather than being just the application, it gives me the whole thing. So it's talking about here in this particular example, having a model-driven app, also having a couple of automations to be able to achieve it. And from there, again, I can go and click on one of those apps and start to get the skeleton of what I want to create. So you can see how really rapidly you can go from just a few sentences into something. It obviously doesn't, again, like we're saying, it doesn't replace what you're doing, but it can really accelerate what you're doing. The bit then where sometimes I get more excited about is when actually making those intelligent solutions and being able to embed AI into what I'm doing. And what supports that is AI Builder, try again. And so AI Builder is basically your tool for being able to bring your models in through configuration. And again, you've got two different types of models there at the box. So we've got the pre-built models for your more generic things. So you're able to just, like I say, rapidly build in sentiment analysis, keyword extraction. And then you've also got models that are where you are custom models, where you're able to then train them up on your data. So you can give it proper examples of what are the kind of documents that you're using, and from that then it can understand then how to work with them. So like take a really typical example. Quite often whenever we're building things, a typical use case in businesses often is like case management. So getting inquiries in and then being able to sort of process, put those to the right team, come back and respond to them. And really quickly you can start to make a much more intelligent solution and reduce the level of human effort to allow them to focus on those higher value tasks. So you can start using this AI to be able to determine actually what categories this inquiry about and being able to use it in Reddit. You can use sentiment analysis to be able to go, actually this is something where somebody's upset or angry and it needs to be responded to quicker, or perhaps there's something in it that gives you a sense that it's urgent. So you can make sure you're focusing your time on the right things. You've got summarization there, being able to pull back all of the details from a case and really rapidly bring it into like a few sentences to get your agent quickly up to speed on what's happened to date. Or being able to go and use, being able to extract text out of the inquiry to be able to use that to look up your line of business solutions. And then you can bring that all together. So you can take the inquiry that's come in, the information, the context that you've got around the user, and your underlying sort of policies and knowledge, and bring it together and draft up a response that, again, you can have somebody go and look over and tweak as required. But you can see how much it can expedite that whole process. And like I say, this is all just dragging and dropping and pulling things together. The other side of Power Platform that's really interesting at the moment is agents. And I guess the sheer speed of which what you can do out of the box with Power Platform is accelerating. So it's gone from being, whenever you created agents, it was all very set paths and, having to put exactly, if it's this question, it's this answer, going to be something where you can actually ground it properly in your knowledge sources and being able to, allow it to reason over the information that you have there based on what the person's asking. It then moved on to being task driven, so being able to recognize based on what somebody has said that you want to carry out a particular task in behind the scenes. And now, most recently, it's moved into that autonomous agent space where it's actually reasoning over what it needs to do and making decisions. So it's not all necessarily even, conversational driven. It can just be based on different triggers of things coming in, like an email coming in or something happening in your database, and it will reason through what it needs to do based on things like, policy documents and other things to make the right choices without you having to plan out every single step for it. So, this is the kind of some of the fields that you have now within the Copilot space. So you can see there you've got topics, which is the very, very structured side of things. You can still have that because there are times when you want people to follow a certain flow. You've got the ability to ground it there in your knowledge sources. One of the strengths of Power Platform, again, like I say, is that connectivity. So you're able to go and, connect to different systems to trigger things. So like in this example here, it's triggering off an internal support email coming in, and then you're able to carry out actions. So again, with just clicking in configuration, I can now be recording that in a system. In this case, it's a database, but it could be, a ServiceNow or another system, and being able to sort of send out a response to them based on the knowledge that I have about what needs to happen. One of the other really good things to see as well is the rate at which, I guess we were talking earlier about being able to see those kind of key performance metrics, and I think that's an area that's really improving there. So it's the recognition that this is a tool for professional developers. You now see a better quality of insights there, so being able to see how successful your agents are, and also to be able to properly trace through, so to understand the reasoning and how it's made those decisions and be able to explain it. So while we're talking about software as a service, people sometimes forget about that. It accelerates the ability for me to sort of create a solution, but it doesn't accelerate everything. So there's still all the kind of core things that you need for good design still has to take place. I still need to make sure I've got my data quality there. I still need to think about the security side of things, about thinking about user-centric design. It's just within slightly different parameters sometimes because you don't have so much control in certain parts, and you still need to think about your ethical AI and being able to explain things. So, like I say, I really like Power Platform because it's got that ability to be able to quickly create your business solutions, but then because it is based on Azure and on Microsoft Stack, then I'm able to go and flip out. So if I can't do what I need to do with the models that are built into it, I can flip out and I can go and use the advanced AI services within Microsoft or externally to that. I can bring all of these intelligent solutions into where somebody's working so they're not losing their context. They don't have to context switch. So you can embed these things into Teams, into Dynamics, into 365, extend what you can do with the co-pilots within it. And then, as I said before, for professional development, if I need to flip out, I can then go in and do my .NET or my JavaScript and extend it out to create what I need to do. And all of this is based on that Azure Microsoft Stack. So I've got that ability to link in with things like Enter ID for my security. I've got the ability to, I know it's going to be something that's going to be able to scale and handle volume. So I guess the key takeaways I want you to take from this is that, Power Platform makes it easy to innovate and using AI. It can do it really, really quickly. You can rapidly take something from being an idea into something that's a reality for your customer. And that because this is an Azure-based solution, you can seamlessly then integrate with the wider Microsoft platform. So you're not limited to what you can do out of the box, but you can extend out and bring more intelligent AI in as required to deliver that value for your customers. So Thanks, everybody, for listening. Hopefully that was useful. Has anybody got any questions? All good. Okay, thanks so much.